Hey guys, welcome back to Tired Axe Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about ice augers, particularly what size you need for your application, and we're going to go through my setup here a little bit. All right guys, stick with us. All right, so we're getting towards ice season here in the upper Midwest. If you go about central Minnesota or north, there's starting to be some walkable ice here and there. I heard this morning that Red Lake has 5 or 6 inches, so we're getting really close. Wanted to talk about, in my opinion, the most important thing you're bringing out onto the ice, and that's your ice auger. Without that, you can't drill a hole, so it doesn't matter how good of a fisherman you are or what electronics you have. If you're not using the right auger or your auger is not reliable, the rest of it's pointless. So let's start talking about size. All right, so most ice augers now come in 2 sizes, 6-inch, 8-inch. Now, years ago, you could get 10s and 12s. 10s you can still get. I don't know if anybody makes any 12s anymore, but 10s are still available out there. But primarily it's those 6 and 8s. So all of your pistol bits come in 6 and 8. Your light flights from Strike Master, your Eskimos, and then all your hand auger options as well. So 6-inch is great if you're going after panfish, if you're going after crappie, even into to walleye. I mean, if you're fishing big walleye, if you're fishing a body of water that produces big fish, 6 isn't enough. But all of last year, we used a 6-inch auger and didn't have any real problems. Now, when you get a fish in the hole on your transducer cord, it gets a little crowded. So there's that. But 6-inch will get the job done. The plus of the 6-inch is it's lightweight, it's easy to carry around, and it's not much work for your drill. So I run a M18 Milwaukee brushless drill, so more than enough power, but having that light 6-inch blade is pretty slick. Now, the 8-inch auger, that's a sweet spot. That's the middle of the road. It's not too big, not too small. Great for all types of fish. And the great thing about an 8-inch is it's going to be one size fits all. So if you're fish for multi-species throughout the year, 8-inch is going to do you well. Now 10-inch. You're looking at a 10. So, guys in wheelhouses really like 10-inch augers because it just opens up that hole. If you look at the hole in a fish house, if you go, look at like an ice castle or a skid house of some sort, the holes are relatively large. So that 10-inch is going to match that. So you're not having the difference between the top of your hole in your fish house and what the hole is in the ice. So if you're running a wheelhouse, 10-inch is definitely the way to go. But you wouldn't want to be dragging that around in a sled or carrying it out, or running and gunning and hole hopping. It's just too big, not enough, portability there. So that, and I think all the 10s, you might be able to get a 10 in some of the newer electrics, like the 24 volt Strike Master or the Ion, but yeah, still a lot of weight, not very user friendly. All right. So let's talk about options. So you have, like I mentioned before, you have the pistol bits. You have the electrics, gas, propane. Gas is kind of a thing of the past. A lot of guys are still using them. I mean, if you're mechanically inclined and you're good with small engines, a gas auger is solid. I mean, they're reliable. People have been using them for forever and ever, and they'll cut through any thickness of ice. You could drill through 3 or 4 feet of ice and not have any issues. So, gas augers definitely have their place, but they're, kind of becoming a thing in the past with all the electric technology that's out. Some of the stuff that these guys are doing, like the Ion and the Strike Master, I mean, these things are nuts. I mean, we're talking, 100 holes on a battery or something like that. So, you're going to pay for that convenience, but it's cool. So if you're in the market for a new auger, definitely, check those guys out, take a look. I know Eskimo is making, the P1 rocket, I believe is what it is. They're still manufacturing that one, and they're still manufacturing the propane model. So, there's options out there if you want to go gas and grow propane. It's just a bigger unit, heavier. You got to worry about oil leaking in your car, or, in your sled. Whereas with the electrics, you don't have to do that. So. All right, so let's talk about the electrics. Now, I talked a little bit about them when I was talking about the differences with gas and electric, but, these guys are doing some amazing things. I mean, they're lightweight, they're user-friendly. You go buy an auger with 2 batteries and that's all you need. still going to be able to cut through just as much ice, not going to have any issues there. And it gives you that option for that 8 and 10 inch in an electric option. So, these guys, I mean, like I said before, 100 holes per battery. Really the only downside to the electrics that I've seen is the cost. I mean, they are expensive. So you could get into a pistol bit or a gas auger for significantly less. So if you're just trying to get out on the ice, you definitely don't need the latest and greatest. They're fun, they're cool, but not necessary. So they're a little spendy. And last year, and I won't mention any brands, but I ran into at least 2 or 3 guys on a couple different lakes who had electrics and had issues. So they got all their gear out there. They went to go drill their holes and the thing just wouldn't work. So, going back to the gas augers, if that's the case and it's not starting, there's things you can do. I mean, you can play with the linkage. Like I said, if you're a little bit, mechanically inclined, there's stuff you can do. I used to carry, an extra spark plug with me. You have options when it's something that's electric. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to fix it out on the ice. So that's the 2 downsides I see to the electrics. Now let's talk about pistol bits, and these are my favorite. They're relatively inexpensive. You can get into, a 6 or an 8 inch, whether it be the Eskimo or a K-Drill or a Light Flight from Strike Master. You can get into those for under $200. So if you're hitting the used market, I've seen some of the Eskimos for, between 120 and 140. They go on sale for kind of right around those same prices. But, these things seem to hold their value. You don't see a lot of them out on the market. And that tells me that the people who are buying them keep them. They don't sell them. They don't upgrade. And, when you're out on the ice, that's all you see. You see tons of guys out with pistol bits. So I run mine on like I said before, just a just a cordless drill. Now I'm running a Milwaukee because I'm a huge Milwaukee fan, but, DeWalt, Rigid, Ryobi, I've seen guys run them on all kinds of different stuff. So you don't have to have necessarily a high-end drill or top of the line. Tired Axe Outdoors, we're talking about getting people on the ice, doing it inexpensively, getting them gear that's going to do a good job, but not break the bank. So, that's kind of where we're keying in at this point. Now, with the pistol bit options, like I said, you run them on the drill, and they're super quick and easy. They're easy to move around. They pack away in your sled. I've got mine right back here. So, like I said, all last year we ran a 6 inch. So, just a 6 inch. Now this is not one of the Eskimo pistol bits. This is an Eskimo hand auger. So this is just a 6 inch hand auger. It's got the shaver blades. Pop the cover off here. But we got this thing midway through last year. If you missed the episode, we lost our 8 inch auger. The float on it didn't work, and we were drilling the hole up on a lake, and the auger disappeared under the ice. So it's still hanging out down there. But, so we were able to upgrade to this guy. Like I said, we ran this all last year. Go back into my videos. There's a video where I did a full review on this. I've drilled up to 30 holes with this thing on a 5 amp hour battery. You can go, I run the 5s. You can go with a 9 amp hour, but, like I said, I've got, plenty of holes for what, how we fish, and, we've done hole hopping and all that, and, never really had a big problem with the 5 amp hour batteries. I do have 2 of them, I have one in the drill, I bring one. I keep them warm, if it's real cold, I'll bring it in the shack with me, but, it's super easy to unchuck and chuck a drill. Not a big deal. All right. Like I said, there's, many different options. Eskimo makes the pistol bit, the, K-Drill. Everybody's heard of the K-Drill. That's made by Vexilar, and the Strike Master. They make the Light Flight. So all 3 are good options. Like I said, you can get into them for fairly inexpensive, and most people have a drill laying around. So, not a big deal. You can get out on the ice for relatively inexpensive and have a really, really reliable option for your auger. All right, so let's talk a little bit about my setup. So this is the Eskimo 6 inch hand auger, and I've converted it over to use as a pistol bit. So obviously the 6 inch auger piece, we did a full review on this, like I said earlier. I'll drop the link to that video back, but that's a full review on this guy. It shows the drilling holes, all that. So check that out if you guys are in the market for a new auger. So, hand auger comes basically with this. The handle I've got out in storage, but what I did is just went and purchased the Clam 16 inch extension. So I think the auger runs like 49 bucks, something like that. You can get them on sale. The 16-inch extension is about 20 bucks. And then just this little adapter, and it basically just goes in with an Allen head screw. So this is the adapter that hooks to your drill. You know, I don't remember what I paid for this. I think it was like $6 or something like that. Now, this retainer disc, I mentioned earlier we lost an auger, and I had a float on it, did not keep it afloat. So, you know, trust the floats if you guys like, but, you know, I went ahead and made this retention disc, and that's just on there, just a bolt, you know, kind of squeaks and rolls around a little bit, but, it does, you know, just fine. So that way, if the auger, or if the drill, you know, auger comes unchucked from the drill, it's not going to disappear this time. It's going to go down. This is going to catch on the ice, and we're not going to lose our auger. So the plus with this extension on the hand auger is that you can adjust your height. So, you know, if you're fishing, you know, new ice, or if you're a shorter person and you're not needing to be up real tall, you can go ahead and adjust the height on this auger. So I mean, you know, with my retention disc, the first hole is up here, but with my disc on there, I can't use that one. So the first one's right there, but, that, you know, that makes the auger relatively short. But as the season goes on and the ice gets thicker, you can extend all the way out to right there. So, I mean, you can easily gain, let's see here. We'll measure this for you guys here. So you can gain 10 inches just by moving it up. So you can go from, let's check overall here from the guard down. So we're looking at like 36 inches on the first notch. And then if we jump up to the last notch here, which is right there. So from the guard down to the bottom, we're looking at 38. So add another, you know, 4 or 5, we're looking at like 43 inches. So, you know, I'm 6 foot tall. You know, this middle spot right there is pretty sweet for me. So it allows me to kind of get on the drill and, you know, put a little bit of weight on it if I need to, and get the job done. All right, so let's go ahead and hook this up to the drill, and I'll show you guys that. Now, one thing you do want to watch for on these is on these adapters, there's your flat sides on your, on the adapter here, just like a drill bit. There's 3 flat sides for the 3 jaws on your drill. So you want to make sure you get your jaws on your drill on those flat sides. Super important so you get a good tight fit. All right, so I double check that, and then just make sure you crank this down nice and tight. Here, click over, okay? Now, what you're going to want to do is your drill back here, you got your option. You got your number 2 speed and your number 1. So you want to run that number 1. That's going to slow the drill down, and it's going to give you more torque rather than power. So that's very, very important. The other thing, and I do this a lot when I have my gloves on, is I'll bump the clutch setting. So you want to make sure the clutch is on the drill bit setting and not one of these lower settings, or else it just won't drill. The resistance will just stop the drill. So that's my setup there. Like I said, this is the brushless Milwaukee M18 with a 5 amp hour battery, the Clam extension, homemade retention disc, and then the Eskimo 6-inch auger. So, and like I said, this thing runs really smooth. Just like that. Like I said, that thing kind of spins at the end, but like I said, works well for us. I'll go ahead and throw a video of us using this out on the ice here at the end of the of this video. Now, one other option if you're going this route, and it's something that I looked at last year, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make it happen this year and try it out. Clam makes the Clam Plate. You can find it, just search Clam Plate or Clam Ice Auger Plate. And what that does is it adapts your drill into this plate, and it gives you handles like a traditional ice auger. So it gives you handles and it gives you a trigger, just like, you know, a gas auger, old Strike Master Mag 2000, and makes it a lot easier to drill. I actually had the opportunity to use one last year, and it's pretty slick. So I think we're going to be adding that to the arsenal this year. The other plus to that is you're not sitting your drill that you just spent a ton of money on in the snow or the slush. You're not sitting your battery on the ice. You can just prop it up on that handle. So, you keep your eye out in the future for that item from the crew here at Tired Axe Outdoors. So I think that'll be a nice upgrade to our setup. All right, so to go back and recap, sizes of augers, that's really what we wanted to talk about today. So if you're fishing for panfish and crappie, 6-inch. If you're fishing for a walleye, or you're going after bass, 8-inch is fine. And 10-inch is great if you're running a wheelhouse and you've got that need for a larger type auger. So when you're out shopping, keep that in mind. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. If you're not subscribed to us here on YouTube, please do that. Hit that button, turn on the notifications, and share the video. Every time somebody subscribed, it's that little bit of a boost to keep doing this, and we're really enjoying putting content out for you guys. So if you follow us on Instagram, you should follow us. If you don't, I put a thing up this morning. So normally we do our videos in the morning. I couldn't decide between the auger and doing a review on my new reel I got. So I threw it out to you guys, and the crowd, wanted to hear about ice augers. So this week we talked about ice augers. Next week we're going to do a full review and setup of the Pflueger President 20 series reel. So got a new custom rod. I'm excited to show you guys that, and we're going to throw this reel on there. So we'll do that next Saturday for all you Pflueger fans. All right, guys, make sure you, like I said, subscribe to the channel here. Go over to Instagram, check us out there, and talked a little bit about it last time, but we do have a website up, tiredaxeoutdoors.com. So head over there. You can pick up stickers. You can pick up T-shirts. All of the money that we make off that channel, we're going to go ahead and put back into, video equipment or fishing equipment, helping us get out on the ice and continue to make this content for you guys. So head over there, pick up a T-shirt, pick up a sticker. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, until then, stay safe. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.